Hi friends, how are you? I hope your day was fine and I hope your day is going to be fine further also. And this today I happened to come across a news feed and I saw a man in one of the states in India who was actually taking a person who he got angry with on the bonnet of his car, and he was dragging him on the highway for quite some kilometers. And the poor guy is clinging onto the bonnet with all his might because he wants to save his life. And so this thought provoked in me an idea about what is anger. And I'm sure that all of us have got angry at some point or the other. Even today, I want you to take a moment and think about the number of people that you got angry with today. And always keep this in mind, that this word anger is just a letter short of the word danger. Okay? And most of the time this anger leads to very dangerous situations, and we are always caught up in getting back at this person who has made us angry and who has created a scenario where we are angry. So similarly, there will be n number of people whom we are making them angry by something. There's no reason or rhyme or reason for people to get angry. We know that ourselves, because we ourselves are triggered by something which is totally unexpected. And if you ask a person who you thought had angered you, they would say that I did not even have this in my mind and I've completely forgotten the incident. But this anger is something which is really harmful to all our lives. It affects us very negatively because it brings out the stress in us, and the wrong hormones in us are secreted, and our blood gets damaged because of that, and it takes quite a lot of time for us to come out of the poison that is involved in bringing out this feeling of anger in us. Okay, so I want you all to think about this tiny story that I'm going to tell you at the end of it whenever you get angry. So I'm sure that you'll think twice before getting angry when you think about this particular story. And please remember that anger is not a solution for anything. If at all you want to bring out your feelings and your frustrations, go into the washroom, scream your head out with the tap turned on, or write it on a piece of paper and tear it into shreds. That way you can get your anger out of your system, because anger is part of the emotions that we as human beings definitely go through. And there's no point in telling don't ever get angry, because we do get angry, but let us limit the number of times that we get angry, as well as take some steps in order to divert our anger and the emotions that are raised in us when we are angry into a different way. As I said, you can take either of these two ways. Go into a place which is lonely, where you can just scream your head out and let out the frustration, or you can write it down in paper with all the anger. You can draw pictures and then tear that piece of paper, or you can burn it up. So that actually takes out the frustration from you. So now let's look at this story. And not everybody reacts in a way which is provoking or hurtful to you at that point of time. Okay, so there are different tactics in which people deal with this emotion called anger. So at this airport, you know how the airport is always filled with hustle bustle. At least the airport before COVID, pre-COVID times, it was filled with hustle and bustle. And this is a pre-COVID time situation where a lady who's obviously from the upper class of society, who's used to people waiting on her hands and feet and looking after all her requirements, she has been angered by something which has triggered her when she was either on the way to the airport or inside the airport. So she's in this frustrated, very angry kind of mood, and she's walking with so much anger in every step that she's taking. And she's waiting for a chance to throw out her anger on whoever does something, even if it's a tiny thing. Just as we have always heard about this last straw on the camel's back. So she's reached that point on that particular day. And I want you to imagine this lady with her luggage going into the terminal, and she goes to the person who actually weighs the luggage, and then puts the label on it for us. So she goes over there, she hands over a passport in a very haughty manner to the person. Of course, she was in business class, and so she's expecting all the privileges. So she just throws it over there, and then she cannot lift that luggage. She's expecting that someone should lift that luggage. So you always have these helpers around that place who will be helping you in putting up the luggage. So this man who actually helps out people with their luggage by lifting it and putting on the machine before it's weighed, and then finally the label is stuck on it. So this guy is standing close by, and she just shows action, gesticulates to him and tells, why don't you put this thing? She talks to him in a very rough tone, and her body language, everything was very angry and frustrated. So this guy has been working extra shift on that day because there was nobody else who could take on the shift, and he was kind of tired, but still he was doing his best, and he came forward and he was lifting it. Again she got angry with him, and there was a few words that she used very rudely at him, telling, you're a mean laborer, if you want I'll give you some extra rupees, you can take that, but do the work properly and all that. So this guy just did not react to that, and then he weighs the thing for her, and then excess weight is there, of course, because she had a lot of things that she was carrying to the place that she was going, and this man is again forced to take that luggage and bring it down, and then she again rearranges her luggage. She throws away a few of things into the dustbin close by and comes back again. And again this person who was helping, who was already working double shift and tired to the bones, he had to help her with his luggage, and again she chided him for being slow in doing his work. And she said, why can't you be more welcoming? Why can't you be a person who's really looking after the customers? So this guy did not react to anything. Sorry ma'am, he said, and he lifted the luggage, again weighed it, and this time round thankfully it was the correct weight, and she goes ahead and she completes the formalities. And the person, a passenger who was standing in the line in the queue behind, he was watching the whole time what is happening over here. And then he looked at that gentleman when he had his turn to go to the counter, and he was checking in his luggage. He had the chance to speak to the same person who was helping, and he asked him, why dear, why son, how come you did not get angry with whatever she said? If it was anybody else, at least they would have shown some kind of facial expressions that they are angry with what had happened. So this guy with a gentle smile on his face said, why sir, why should we waste our energy? Why should we get ourselves upset by getting angry with a person and reacting to them and giving rise to an ugly scene which might spoil the whole situation for everybody who's standing over there? So this person was very happy when he heard this, and he said, oh, you're such a wonderful person. You're more like a monk than a normal helper or a human being, he said. And this man just smiled and said, there are different ways in which we can show our anger, sir. That lady, she is going to America, but her luggage is going to Australia. Okay, I think you got it now, okay? So that there are people who could do anything with you when they get angry. They do not have to show that they are angry. They do not have to show anything else, but they can take their revenge in their own sweet way. So the best thing that we can do is to reduce a situation where we anger someone else, and even if someone else angers us, makes us angry, and we are really frustrated, let us not show it on them. Let us just move aside from that situation which is making us angry, take out our frustration in some other manner, and come back and continue with our life in a more pleasant way. Happy, anger-free life for everybody. Thank you so much.